Sixth recognition.
Madam Chair, I rise to claim the time in opposition.
Gentleman from New York is recognized.
Madam Chair, yet again we have another amendment aimed at dividing us instead of allowing us to serve the people who elected us. Vaccinations help us eradicate terrible diseases like smallpox, polio, measles, mumps, tuberculosis, rubella, and on and on and on. Adding this amendment would not help us govern. It will not help us serve our constituents. Instead, it will just serve to undermine necessary health and safety rules. We here in this chamber cannot know what contagious diseases we may face in the future, and I oppose any amendment that would undermine our ability to protect our constituents. Madam Chair, before I was allowed to go to school, I won't tell you how many years ago that was, I had to be vaccinated for diphtheria, for whooping cough, for the diseases that they then knew had to vaccinate against. Nothing has changed. We have to vaccinate people to prevent diseases and pandemics. The gentleman asked, why should a 2-year-old, and the fact of the matter is that people should require to be either vaccinated, especially a nurse who is dealing with patients, who is breathing on those patients. She can transmit the disease. So certainly she should be required to be vaccinated, because the vaccination not only protects her, it protects against transmission of the disease to the next person. And the healthcare worker certainly ought to be required to be vaccinated. And when we have a pandemic like COVID-19 pandemic that we had, 2-year-olds should have been required to wear masks. It would be child abuse for parents not to do that, because there was no vaccination available for 2-year-olds. And the only way to protect them against COVID was to have them wear masks. And these mandates are meant to protect the public's health and safety. God willing, we won't have another pandemic such as we had. But in the future, we will be required, I presume, to be vaccinated against major threatening diseases. And that is right. And to expand the major rule to include any increase in mandatory vaccinations is intended to prevent mandatory vaccinations. That is a crime against the public health. I reserve.
Gentleman from New